You know, when you think about take two. You know, when you think about it, of course, Justin Timberlake made an absolute mint, did he not? Of, if you remember, signing on the dotted line to sing the theme tune for this now very much fast food restaurant. Yes, you know the one. I'm loving it, right? You remember that? Now, what was interesting about this, by getting somebody of his stature to agree to the theme tune, it really did elevate the brand for particularly young people who had bought into Mr. Timberlake's music. You understand how this works. But what's fascinating to read in this 21st century world, no brand is now immune to being watered down. And as ever, I wanted to explain this, and I'd love to get your thoughts. Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. You're right. Have you had your breakfast yet? Now, I don't know about you, when I'm in London, I see so many bikes zipping up and down, and I even saw this recently, 2 coffees being delivered from this said brand. That's right, we're talking McDonald's. Now, it was always the thing, wasn't it, that anybody could really afford a bit of a snack in McDonald's. It was, if you remember back, a little bit like Lyons Corner Houses or indeed Wimpy. They were the places of all generations, remember that? And then, of course, in our generation, there were things like Pizza Hut, Pizza Land, stuff like that, where you could go in. But McDonald's recently, of course, have only done exactly what everybody else has done. Put up their prices and shrunk the product. I mean, minuscule, some of the things. You know, a friend of mine who's a regular said that basically the chips are now like pieces of string. They're not, well, fries, if you don't know that term. They're just so thin. Of course, I occasionally, as many people know, go in to get a cup of tea, and on occasions have been known to get one of their ice creams. But their minis are almost like a scoop. They're just not worth the money. Now there's big problems because billions are being lost off the bottom line for McDonald's in the very first time in this catering history. And apparently they're stunned. I don't know about you. How could you be stunned wondering why it's gone wrong? It's gone wrong because people do not want to pay higher prices for a substandard product that they used to get a lot of before. Now you will notice this if you do go into the brand. It's fascinating this. If you say a cup of tea, or, you know, I was next to someone the other week and they just said a burger. Oh, do you mean the meal? They've been told to up it all the time, but people can't afford these high prices. But their reasoning, McDonald's, is this. There's a new kid on the block called Five Guys, which has been over here a couple of years now, and they're far more expensive and busier. But some people might suggest giving a far better product. And that's apparently the reason why they're concerned as to how their brand has slipped down. Now, I don't know about you, but one might say the reason why it simply slipped down is simply it's just not fair value. People are a lot tighter with their money. A cost of living crisis basically means they simply can't afford it. Or more importantly, they're not loving it, as Justin Timberlake famously said. Now, are you not loving McDonald's? Do you go in? And what's the reason do you believe why it's bombed literally around the world? You know my thoughts. What's yours? Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.